You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, an iconic Route 66 landmark celebrates an anniversary 100 years in the making.
Also, children in Jasper County could see a financial boost for services thanks to an upcoming ballot proposition.
Don't forget, we have fire weather warnings in the area until 7 p.m. today.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney, and it is 7 a.m. It's been a pretty good morning. We woke up and it wasn't too cold outside, so looking pretty good for the day.
Not a bad Friday at all. Well, one of the most iconic stores on Route 66 celebrated 100 years. Nelson's old Riverton store, formerly known as the Williams store when it was built in 1925, has been a staple in the 4 states for a century.
Anthony Saviello takes us there and reflects how things haven't really changed.
The same store in the same place for 100 years, and in that time, things have pretty much stayed, well, the same. That is, except for the name.
Nothing had really changed because I'd been running it for my aunt and uncle are up in years at that point, and so I've been maintaining the store for them and running it and that kind of thing. But then it just, officially became mine.
Scott Nelson took over in 2010, but under new management didn't mean new everything.
Even when I deal with our wholesalers and they've got something coming on and they're changing something, I said, well, you come over here someday and you'll see why I don't exactly want to change the way you want to change, because we kind of like it the way we've got it here.
A few updates to be sure.
When my aunt and uncle bought the store in '73, they expanded the deli. Back in the 60s and 70s, you could buy bologna and chopped ham and a couple cheeses. So that's about all that they had. But, they came from Chicago, and they were used to Chicago delis. And so they tried to bring all that in and updated the deli.
But that iconic old-school Route 66 feel hasn't left.
That was my Aunt Isabel Eisler, that when they bought the store, that was her goal, to keep this store as it was.
It's a place where familiar faces and new ones can enjoy a piece of history with hundreds of stories within its walls.
One of the ladies on the trip said that her mother or grandmother worked here in 1939. And she said, in that Coke box we have, that was the year they brought it in. It was brand new in 1939. We still have it. We still use it. But so that's, I found, people will tell me things that I don't know.
Who knows what the next 100 years could bring? I
won't be here, but hopefully the store will still be here and going as long as it can. So at least we made it this far. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good sign that it'll be here for a while.
On historic Route 66, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Well, the Nelson Old Riverton store is planning a bigger birthday celebration in May. What an incredible piece of history there.
I have not been, but I'm actually going to go take a look now because of this, because I love Route 66. I love that, Joplin, is centered around it. We have a lot to do with it, so that's pretty cool.
100 years. What a feat. Great accomplishment.
100 years is a big feat. You know what else is a big feat? Getting over that winter season. It was a long, draining, cold season, a lot of snow, but overall, we're heading into spring. Spring started yesterday, and today it actually feels like it. So we're starting off the morning in a little partly cloudy skies. You can see downtown Joplin. A few breaks in the clouds, which does give us a nice little sunrise, but we are dealing with fire weather today. So we've got low humidity and high winds causing fire weather warnings until 7 p.m. tonight. Winds starting to gust right now up to 40 miles per hour. Joplin, Pittsburgh, Chanute, Iola, even above 40 miles per hour in the Fort Scott area. That's going to continue for the next several hours until mid-afternoon before those winds start to die down. Now we have a dry line moving in ahead of our front, cold front coming in later today, and that's bringing dry air. You can see how the dry air just pushes into the area, dropping humidity down less than 20% across the area. So definitely going to see some very dry weather that is crucial for fire weather, so be mindful of that as you make your way through the day. Now, overcast skies do continue overall for the next several hours, not clearing out until mid-afternoon, but temperatures getting up into the upper 60s. Now, we do have that cold front coming through midday, but not going to be causing any rain chances, maybe a light drizzle, but overall it's going to be a beautiful day, beautiful evening. Temperatures are dropping down through the 50s by midnight, but clear skies return. And tomorrow we're getting up into the low 70s, plus more clouds and rain returns. I'm going to have those details coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, a federal grand jury indicts a Commerce, Oklahoma man and woman for the murder of a toddler. Now, in addition to a charge of second-degree murder in Indian Country, Daniel Allen Ash and Amber Dawn Murphy have been charged with neglecting 4 other children. The 2 are accused of unlawfully killing a 2-year-old in their care. They were arrested in the case originally in September 2024 when the crime happened and remain in jail. Ash had also been charged with aggravated sexual abuse of a minor in Indian Country. Well, authorities respond to a vehicular accident in Crawford County yesterday morning involving a pedestrian. The reports came in at around 11:16 at the intersection of K47 and 190th in rural Girard. Police say Erin O'Connell, an 18-year-old from Pittsburgh, was crossing the highway when she was struck by a pickup. EMS transported O'Connell to an area hospital where she was flown to Tulsa for further treatment. She is listed in critical condition. And officials in Lamar, Missouri begin repairs after vandals destroy parts of the bathrooms at Wheeler Park. Now, they say the park experienced 2 separate incidents this week alone. Officials closed park bathrooms during the winter to avoid breakage from the cold temperatures and usually open back up in the spring. Now, they say these vandalism incidents may cause delays and expect the repairs will cost more than $1,000. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, Jasper County voters will soon be asked to approve a 1/4-cent sales tax to create a children's service fund. Jasper County for Kids says the tax would generate $5 million annually for children in Jasper County. KOAM's Samantha Walker spoke to organizers to learn why they say the fund would provide stable funding for area organizations.
The Jasper County For Kids Coalition is made up of volunteers and organizations, hoping to help support area children. They came together when they saw Jasper County's rank drop within Missouri Kids Count, a nonprofit that tracks the well-being of children in all 114 counties in Missouri, from best to worst. In 2024, Jasper County ranked 98th.
Agencies who work with children, the schools, other agencies that work with children, and they've just seen it. And they know this is an opportunity to possibly have additional services that could improve those scores again.
They're asking voters to approve a 1/4-cent sales tax to create the Children's Services Fund. Funds would be required to stay within Jasper County, helping give stable funding for mental health, prevention, and drug and alcohol treatment services.
I think there are many examples here in town, or here in the county, of shortfalls, not because they're not providing good service. They are. We have great agencies providing great service, but sometimes there are more children to serve than there are spaces in a given service.
If approved, funds would go to organizations like here at Rafa International to help support their mental health services for children in Jasper County.
Mental health services are very rare in the area. All of our therapists hold long waiting lists, and that's the truth for other agencies as well.
If Rafa International were to receive support from the fund, they say it would go to help their Hope and Healing Center.
A fund like this would really help us to offer more consistent services, make more services available to people, and help families who might face financial burdens or barriers whenever they're accessing mental health treatment.
10 other counties in Missouri have used the state statutes to establish a Children's Services Fund. Jasper County for Kids says those counties have seen improvements to their children's well-being. They want the same for Jasper County.
What this initiative represents, I think, is just all of us taking responsibility for caring for the children in our own communities, in our own county, and making sure that everyone has access to the treatment that they need.
Reporting in Jasper County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now, if passed, the sales tax supporting the fund would have no set end date. Jasper County voters will see the proposition on their ballots April 8th. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, the Taliban has released a third American captive since January. We'll have the latest. And later, a family of firefighters get a unique chance to work their first shift together. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back. Well, topping World Watch, one of the world's busiest international airports is closed today after a fire caused a significant power outage. In a statement on X, London's Heathrow Airport says it will be shut down until at least 11:59 p.m. London time today. A fire at an electrical substation in West London late Thursday night knocked out power and forced evacuations of the airport and several homes. At least 120 flights on the way to the airport were diverted. Heathrow officials say passengers shouldn't travel to the airport until it officially reopens. And Palestinians sift through rubble after an Israeli airstrike in the Gaza Strip yesterday. Over a dozen people gathering near a large crater in Khan Yunis searching through the remains of the attack, which left around 16 people dead. Buildings also collapsing and trees left burned by the airstrikes. Israeli military officials saying that they killed the head of Hamas's internal security apparatus in an airstrike in Gaza. Well, a U.S. citizen held captive in Afghanistan is now on his way home. Now, he is the third American detainee released by the Taliban since January. Secretary of State Marco Rubio called the release a positive step and said President Trump will continue efforts to release all unjustly detained Americans held overseas. Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst reports from Tel Aviv.
American citizen George Glesman is coming home. The 65-year-old was held by the Taliban in Afghanistan since December of 2022. Now, after weeks of negotiations conducted by American and Qatari mediators, Glesman will be reunited with his family.
They identified George's case as a priority on the first day of the Trump administration. And since then, I know that they have been working every single day to secure his release.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio thanking Qatar in a statement, saying its steadfast commitment and diplomatic efforts were instrumental in securing George's release. Qatar has consistently proven to be a reliable partner and trusted mediator, facilitating complex negotiations. Sources familiar with the release say the Trump administration did not have to give up anything in return for Glesman's freedom. This was considered a goodwill gesture from the Taliban, which has been in control of Afghanistan following the U.S. withdrawal in the summer of 2021. Trump envoy Adam Boehler was personally involved in the talks and is currently escorting Glesman home.
The U.S. Special Envoy for Hostage Affairs, Mr. Adam Boehler, considered the progress made regarding prisoners between Afghanistan and the U.S. as a positive step towards building trust.
Glesman's return is the latest in a series of efforts by the Trump administration to bring U.S. citizens home. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
And those are our top stories this morning from around the world. Now let's check in with Lindsay for a quick look at your forecast.
Well, we have fire weather warnings across the area until 7 p.m. tonight due to humidity dropping lower than 20%. Winds gusting 35 to 45 miles per hour through the afternoon, and temperatures warming up, getting into the upper 60s. Overall, fire weather is a main concern for today, but everything clears out tonight. We've got clear skies, temperatures dropping down to the low 50s by midnight, so overall mild night, light winds as well. Heading into Saturday, temperatures drop down for overnight low about 40 degrees, but we warm back up to the low 70s. Clouds increase afternoon and winds increase as well ahead of a cold front that's coming through. That cold front is potentially bringing some severe weather to the area, but right now you can see it shifted a little bit further northeast than our area. However, we are still expecting rain showers to linger until early Sunday morning, but I'll have a look. I'll show you the potential for a couple pop-up thunderstorms that could develop in our area as they're moving northeast. But I'm going to have a full forecast coming up. All right, we've got a nice looking sunrise this morning in between the clouds. So overall, it's a pretty good day today. Although we do have fire weather alerts, fire weather warnings across the area until 7 p.m. tonight due to the low humidity and high winds. Plus those warmer temperatures aren't helping anything either. Now we've got some clouds pushing in ahead of a cold front that's going to be moving in later on today. But current temperatures, you can see, a great looking sunrise. We are still seeing those clouds being pushed in, but temperatures mid 40s and it feels like upper 30s, so it doesn't feel too bad out there. We do still have that southerly breeze, 15 to 20 miles per hour, but gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Now we're starting the morning off about 44, 45 degrees. Again, mostly cloudy skies, those winds gusting up to 45 miles per hour. And then later on this evening, temperatures jump up to the upper 60s, almost hitting 70 degrees. And then those clouds start to clear out for the rest of the day and winds are dying down throughout the rest of the evening as well. But not so fast. We've got 40 mile per hour wind gusts out in the east, 35 mile per hour wind gusts in the west. That's going to continue, but as that front pushes through, kind of isolates those stronger winds out to the east. Front's pushing in around 3, 4 p.m. And then when we see those winds dying down overnight, but picking back up ahead of another cold front that's moving in tomorrow as well. Now let's go ahead and look at our future track. So by noon, that cold front starts to push just outside of Yates Center, so closer to the Wichita area. Might see a little bit of a drizzle as we're seeing this little green bubble popping up. A little drizzle, maybe some sprinkles, but it's not going to be a big disruption or even likely going to happen for most of us. It's just going to be overcast. Then by 3:30, temperatures getting up to the upper 60s. Again, almost hitting 70, but not quite. Those clouds are clearing out. We have a clear afternoon and evening. By 10 p.m., temperatures are only in the lower 50s, so a pretty mild night. Though we're getting down to about 40 degrees for the overnight low, maybe briefly touching the upper 30s, and then we have more clouds pushing in. By 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, winds are shifting back out of the southeast, and then we're going to see those overcast skies moving in later in the afternoon. Temperatures reaching 71, 72 degrees in the afternoon. Pretty nice. However, overcast skies do cool us down quickly as we're watching some storms potentially developing later in the evening. So it's about 8:30 Saturday night. We're looking at our convective allowing model, which means we can see pop-up thunderstorms, which we're looking at this one. You see the clouds, you see how the winds are kind of rotating. So that's going to be pushing in, although not developing any rain until closer to the edge of our viewing area. So we see some rain showers northeast of Joplin, but it really fires off once it leaves the Springfield area. So we're going to watch for pop-up thunderstorms ahead of the main line of that cold front that's going to be moving in overnight, just in case anything wants to pop up, but the chance is low. Now by 1 a.m. Sunday, we're going to start to see those showers pushing in, bringing us some rain showers that are lingering until early Sunday morning. We've got a cooler night on Sunday as well. Hopefully the rain will help our drought. We don't have a bad drought, and it's not really showing up this morning for some reason, but we've got moderate to dry drought conditions out in Missouri and Arkansas, but the rest of us are looking clear. Now a cooler day on Monday, temperatures warm right back up to the 70s by next week and weekend, plus more rain chances ahead. All right, that's Look at Your Forecast. We'll be right back. A family of 5 Kansas City, Kansas firefighters had the unique opportunity to work together this week.
Rachel Henderson visited them on their joint shift.
With a job like this, routine calls don't exist.
Every day is a little bit different.
Today,
Pumper 19 to dispatch.
Different is an understatement.
Who else gets to do this?
Technically, no one. There's something these 5 have in common, and it's not the uniform.
I just can't tell you how proud I am of my whole family. Certainly my sons that are standing here. When I say sons, I'm definitely including Tyler Nevels. He is my son as well. So
these firefighters are all related. Chad's the patriarch, and Trenton, Cameron, and Tyler are his 3 sons. Not to be confused with Tyler Nevels, Chad's son-in-law.
So I didn't think that I would ever have this many of my brothers on the department with me. I thought it was just going to be me and my dad.
Their drills are routine, but working together's not. It was the chief's idea to pair them up for one day only. Following in their father's footsteps was a no-brainer.
Never in my wildest dreams had what I think I'd be at a station working on rigs with my dad and my brothers. I think that's just uber cool.
When we get on the scene, we're all business. You guys ever drank out of a fire hose?
There's plenty of wisdom to soak up.
My dad did a great example of showing us how good of a career it was.
But wisdom isn't just passed down.
You're going to teach me something here because this is new to me.
Say most exciting thing is just being together, spending time with one another, being able to serve our community together as a family and as fellow brothers in fire service.
Thank you, Ty.
This break in Chad's routine started a fire he never wants to put out.
I've never been more proud in my life than this moment.
Well, Trenton and Tyler Womble are both firefighter paramedics.
And Cameron Womble and Nevels hope to begin paramedic school in the fall. How cool is that?
A little family job.
Saving lives and being heroic must run in the family. That's pretty cool to see.
It does.
I don't know though if I would like to have the same job as my family. Like if they were all morning news
live together,
anchors.
you work together.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't live together anymore, but you know.
But they're close, which is great
very
to
close.
see.
It is nice to see, especially when you have that bond and you're fighting fires together.
Right.
I mean, I could see that being pretty beneficial, actually.
Absolutely.
You know, like you trust those people with your lives. So
absolutely, cool to see. Well, coming up, Joplin transforms its Main Street into a party to celebrate the first third Thursday of the year.
And we have fire weather warnings across the area today, plus some thunderstorm chances in the forecast Saturday night. I'll have a look at that coming up. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30, just coming up on 7:31. I'm Elise Snowy. Well, the Wildcat Glades Education Cottage held a rock wrapping program yesterday, giving kids the chance to turn simple stones into unique necklaces by wrapping them in wire. Limited to 25 participants, the event encouraged children to gain a new appreciation for rocks while creating something special.
We love getting kids to think about different aspects of nature. So it makes sense that if you value the rocks, then you're going to take care of the rocks. So we try to form everything that we do around something nature related.
Well, 6 volunteers along with staff helped guide the kids through the craft, with parents joining in to make it a fun, hands-on family experience. And it was definitely nice to get some sunshine and a break from the wind for Joplin's first third Thursday event of the year. Now, downtown Joplin is blocked off for 3 hours in the evening on the third Thursday of every month from March through October. The monthly cultural event features local artisans, music, entertainment, and of course, food. Now, this month's theme, Go Green Downtown.
Yeah, it feels great. I'm really excited being out in the community at the first third Thursday of the year, and just, you know, getting to interact with the community.
So it's a bunch of fun. We love doing local events. We love being out, being able to give back to the community. We love making jewelry for everybody.
Now, the theme for April's third Thursday is be a hero, sponsored by Vert's Neighborhood Dispensary. Now let's head over to Lindsay for a quick look at your forecast.
Well, taking a look outside, we've got a nice little sunrise, but clouds are overtaking it a little bit. Now, we also are dealing with fire weather today. We've got a red flag warning across the area until 7 p.m. tonight. Winds are currently gusting up to 35, even pushing up to 40 miles per hour already this morning. Those are going to stick around till mid-afternoon. We also have low humidity as well. Already low moisture in the area, but a dry line pushes in and that drops our humidity values less than 20% across the area. Even some areas getting down to 16% humidity. So very dry air and high winds across the area today, causing that fire weather risk. Now, overcast skies for parts of the day, but we also see a lot of breaks in the clouds until later on this afternoon when that front finally passes. You can see it starting to push in. Now, first we have that dry line bringing in the dry air, then we have our cold front mid-afternoon, and it is going to drop our temperatures slightly overnight, but temperatures are still getting into the upper 60s, and we're not expecting any rain chances with this. Maybe a slight drizzle along that boundary, but overall it is just going to be mostly cloudy across that cold front, and then winds shift as we head into the afternoon. Now, other than that, it's looking pretty great, but I'm going to have a full forecast coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. We'll see you in just a bit. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Sky Watch weather app. You can get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. Of course, it's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All you have to do is just search for the KOAM Sky Watch weather app. Well, this week marks National Poison Prevention Week, a time to raise awareness about the dangers of poisoning and how to prevent it. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke to a pharmacist from Alps Pharmacy in Anderson, Missouri, about the challenges he's seeing, particularly when it comes to overdosing.
I'm Lonnie Walton in Alps Pharmacy. I spoke to a local doctor and he says there are several things you can do to protect yourself from drug poisoning.
I have to go to the doctors every 3 months.
Linda Davis is a customer at Alps Pharmacy in Anderson. She says she has to use drugs daily, but she knows how to keep herself from making major mistakes.
Mine are all separated out for me. I don't ever keep them together because that's how you make mistakes.
And she's correct. Separation is key, according to Dr. Cody York.
I've seen people bring in bottles that have 2 and 3 different medicines in it and aren't sure what they are, and that is very, very dangerous.
And Dr. York says he really means this.
Even if it's a medication you've been on and it's an old bottle and you want to put it in the new, absolutely do not do that.
Dr. York says labels are important, therefore make sure it's there.
If you have an unlabeled product, never ingest it unless you are 100% sure you know what it is.
David says she knows exactly where to go when she needs help.
Have any issues too, I call down here.
So anytime you're taking something over the counter and you're unsure of how to use it, I would highly recommend you call the pharmacy and talk to a pharmacist. We can kind of guide you through that dosing.
And lastly, let's not forget about those kids.
Keep your medication in a cabinet locked out of reach. If you are able to reach it, they are probably able to figure out how to reach it as well.
Reporting in Anderson, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Well, in addition, health experts say never share prescription medicines. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Shannon Becker joins us in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning and happy spring to you.
Well, you as well. Yeah, yesterday was the first
day.
Yes. You're right. Let's take a look at the big 3 stories, live and local, what's happening where you live. This was over the weekend as we started on a Monday. 2 semis collided. Is the microphone not working?
I think so.
2 semis collided on the interstate, I-44 near Big Cabin. Flaming, totally bizarre. Still haven't heard all the details of Oklahoma Highway Patrol, not necessarily sure why.
Right.
We reached out to them, but it was 2 semis. The road was closed till almost 1 o'clock the next day. Number 2, KOAM News Now, Joplin News First. It was last Friday, Yates Center, that nursing home. Now, here is where the fire really began to spread. This
Look
is just
at those
south.
flames. Wow.
Yeah, is that crazy? Those are cedar trees. They just boom, they just explode. That's just south of the nursing home, and that spread through the grass there. And then, of course, the total devastation.
Yes.
Everyone was out safely, though.
Yes.
I know 9 of the residents are in Pittsburgh now at a nursing home.
Kind of dispersed around southeast Kansas. But
right.
Yes.
But they're going to be further from their family, so that's a little bit of a challenge. I do understand there will be plans to rebuild.
Yes.
And our number 1 story, big story this week. We're even talking about it still. The wind. This was Carthage on Friday evening. It brought together 8 different departments for this huge grass fire. Jack Pine Road and County Road 170. The flames were like 10 to 12 feet high. If you can kind of see the little shadows of the firefighters there. It was a real marshy area, so we couldn't necessarily get out in it. 3 of the fire trucks actually got stuck out there. Nobody got hurt, but they did have some equipment.
How long did it take?
They got it under control in like 30 minutes.
Which is great. That's incredible.
Really. But they were out there for hours,
Right.
making sure it was completely out. And our bonus story of the week, I'm still kind of getting my eye boogers out. I know it sounds gross, doesn't it?
No, right.
This was the dust blowing the other day. Did you see the dust blowing?
I saw the dust. The air quality was so unhealthy. It was unbelievable.
So at first, when it first started blowing, I looked, it was 66. It was like moderate. And then it went to 144, which is unhealthy. Everybody, if you have like asthma and stuff, they say stay inside. But that was a really interesting view. I was looking down 7th Street towards downtown from St. Louis Avenue.
All of that dust, so unhealthy, and
I've never seen it like that here. But
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in the Midwest. I don't think. Just like
on
so
video.
dusty
I've seen it
on video,
but
right?
To actually see it in person.
In person.
It's your big three.
All right. Well, Shannon, as always, thanks so much for being with us. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Well, taking a look at downtown Pittsburgh, we have a nice sunrise going on. A few clouds out there, and clouds are just going to continue to increase. We also have fire weather warnings today. That's until 7 p.m. and it's across most of our counties due to the low humidity and the high winds that we're seeing throughout the day. Plus, temperatures are warming up throughout the day as well. Now, clouds pushing in. We have a cold front pushing in a little bit later this afternoon. That's going to bring overcast skies until it starts to clear out by about 4 p.m. Current temperatures are pretty mild. We're about mid-40s. We've got that southerly breeze, 10-15 miles per hour, but we also have gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Overall, it is a nice looking morning, other than the stronger winds. Now, temperatures getting up to about 67, 68 degrees today. Winds are shifting along that cold front, but we're not expecting any rain chances. Might get a drizzle or two, but overall, it clears out really quickly. By 7 p.m., we have clear skies, temperatures in the mid-60s, and then we're dropping down into the low 50s by midnight. Very light winds overnight and into tomorrow as well. Until then, though, winds are gusting up to 40 miles per hour, Stockton, Nevada, Carthage, Mount Vernon, even the Joplin area. But the further out west we go, the lighter the winds are. They're still gusting up to 30 miles per hour, but that front pushes in and it really just decreases those winds as the boundary pushes over our area. Now, calm winds tonight, calm winds through most of the day tomorrow, but we have another cold front moving in. So as winds shift out of the south on Saturday, they pick up and gust again up to 30 miles per hour before that front finally pushes through. Now let's look at our future track. So we've got that first cold front today. That's what is bringing our winds, our fire weather ahead of that front. And we also don't expect any rain chances because, again, we've got very dry air over us. We might get a little bit of a drizzle or two, but the likelihood is slim, and it is only for a few isolated areas. By 4 p.m., most of the clouds are starting to push out of here. Temperatures are reaching those upper 60s, and we've got sunny skies and clear skies as we head into the evening. Temperatures dropping to mid-50s by about 10 p.m., so overall a mild night. But we're getting down into the low 40s, even hitting about 39 degrees by early Saturday morning. Few clouds start to push in. We're going to have partly cloudy days for most of the day, but by the afternoon, overcast clouds start to pull in, and we also have temperatures warming up to the low 70s. So it's going to be a nice warm day on Saturday, and then those winds start to pick up as we have those overcast skies. Now, we're expecting to see a possible chance for a thunderstorm or two. This is a convective allowing model, which means we can see these pop-up thunderstorms. So we're going to keep an eye on those as we head into Saturday evening. This is about 8:39 p.m. We have this little isolated cloud that's going to be pushing in the opposite direction of all the other clouds. So it's going to be pushing up to the northeast. The rest of the clouds following southeast trend, and does pop up a little isolated storm. You can see a few showers northeast of Joplin. As it pushes out of the area, that's when the isolated supercells do start to pop up. May not affect our area at all, but we are going to keep an eye on it. And then we have showers pushing in behind that, bringing a little lingering rain as we head into Sunday morning. Temperatures drop a little bit on Sunday, mid-60s, and then a little bit more on Monday, low 60s, before we warm back up into the 70s, mid to upper 70s throughout the week. Plus, we have more rain chances in the forecast. That's a look at your forecast. We'll be right back.
Well, a new hotel in Las Vegas utilizes artificial intelligence to create a unique and tailored guest experience.
Carla Solanas reports.
New kind of hotel is set to open in Las Vegas, promising a fully AI-driven experience. Autonomous Hotels, founded by Philippe Ziadier, uses artificial intelligence to personalize every aspect of a guest stay.
We are a true AI. The whole concept is powered by AI.
The hotel's AI system creates a digital profile for each guest, collecting data from bookings and previous stays to predict a guest's preferences. Ziadier says AI plays a key role in booking, check-in, and room customization.
AI will go and scrape the entire web, okay, on every information we have on you, every social media, every post, every communication that you have, and come back and create your unique digital avatar, which is really a digital twin of you.
AI will then predict what the best hotel stay looks like for you.
We know exactly how you take your coffee, so we can have that ready for you before you even come in.
To check into your room, all you have to do is scan your phone and you're in. You can also place a food or item order on the app and you don't have to be in the room to receive it. Hotel staff will place your item in a safe box that you can access from inside the room.
It will adapt to you. So you stay with us the first time, next time you come, the temperature is the same, lighting is the same, we adapt to your behaviors, we know what time you wake up, so the whole room will adapt to you.
Autonomous hotels will feature multiple restaurants, a rooftop lounge, and 2 pools, and guests will have the capability to join multiple rooms together using magnet door technology.
The entire floor is interconnected, so the AI layer will puzzle what you want on the fly. So if you say you want 2 bedroom, it will close and open doors to give you that configuration on the fly.
Very cool, very interesting to see how that will all develop. You know, AI can be used. I know that people are wary of it, but AI can really be used to help benefit construction sites, buildings, different things like that. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, makes life sometimes a little easier, but yeah, we'll see how it all turns out.
Yeah.
But the weather is turning out pretty good today.
Certainly is.
We've got temperatures in the upper 60s today. Now, we have a dry, cold front moving through, which does cause some fire weather concerns throughout the day on Friday. But Saturday, temperatures warm up to the low 70s, upper 60s. We have increasing clouds for the afternoon and the chance for some late night showers and even a thunderstorm or 2. So we're going to keep an eye on that. It could cause maybe a little bit of a hail risk, but overall it is just going to be your garden variety thunderstorm. Now, those showers linger through early Sunday morning. Temperatures drop slightly, only to the mid 60s, but another slight temperature drop as we head into Monday, but we're back into the 70s next week. That's a look at your weekend forecast. We'll be right back.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A federal grand jury indicts a Commerce, Oklahoma man and a woman for the murder of a toddler. Daniel Allen Ash and Amber Dawn Murphy have been charged with second-degree murder of a 2-year-old and neglecting 4 other children. Ash has also been charged with aggravated sexual abuse of a minor. Authorities responded to a vehicular accident involving a pedestrian in Crawford County near the intersection of Highway 47 and 190th yesterday morning. Now, police say Erin O'Connell of Pittsburgh was crossing the highway when she was struck by a pickup. O'Connell was transported to an area hospital where she was flown to Tulsa. She is listed in critical condition. And officials in Lamar, Missouri begin repairs after vandals destroy parts of the bathrooms at Wheeler Park. Now, they say the park experienced 2 separate incidents this week alone. Officials say these incidents may cause delays in opening and expect the repairs will cost more than $1,000.
And as we head into the weekend, we have fire weather warnings today. A dry cold front moving through this afternoon, but another cold front moving in Saturday evening, causing showers and a potential thunderstorm or 2 that could lead to some low-end severe threats. Now, temperatures drop on Sunday after some lingering morning showers, mid 60s and then low 60s on Monday, but we're back into the 70s next week, even upper 70s. We also have those scattered shower chances throughout the week next week as well. So we've got a pretty nice looking forecast.
Yes.
A little cold as we head into the start of next week, but definitely looks like spring from where I'm sitting.
Certainly great spring forecast ahead of us. Excited to see it for sure. Well, the American Kennel Club is out with its list of top dog breeds for 2024. Now, the French Bulldog reigns supreme as the most popular purebred dog in the U.S. for a 3rd year in a row. Now, the nonprofit says the Frenchie now occupies a solid place as, quote, America's sweetheart.
The Kennel Club's next 5 most popular breeds are also maintained their ranking from 2023. In order, they're the Labrador Retriever, Golden Retriever, German Shepherd, Poodle, and Dachshund.
Very cool. I come from a family who has Labradors, so
yes.
I think that would be my pick out of that list. But they're all so cute. I mean, how can you choose? How can you choose? Look at them go.
You know, I don't have to. I have rescue puppies.
Yes.
And they're all mixes. So we have 1 Lab German Shepherd mix.
Ooh,
she's my puppy.
That's a combo for you.
And then a Belgian Malinois mix with a Greyhound. She's a big girl, but super sweet.
Adorable.
So I get the mixes. I get all the great breeds all in one nice little package.
Absolutely. And if you have a dog, not a bad day to walk it outside.
No, it's
as
not.
well.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for letting us put the good in your morning. And just a reminder that there will be no noon due to the NCAA tournament.
Have a great rest of your morning.